another very interesting dream, another kind of heavy dream. So I'm just going to go ahead and share it and pray that it, that the Lord guides my tongue and what needs to come out comes out. It was like in the dream I was discovering that I had this power within me, and it was kind of like as I was like lifting up my hands, I was like changing like the landscape and like the buildings around me and everything like that was like beginning to like lift off, and it was like I knew what was inside of me was like what was allowing that to happen. But it was like this whole area, it was like an old abandoned city almost kind of thing, and it was like it was all covered in fog, like you couldn't see it, it was dark out, it was really kind of creepy and scary, and like don't even know why I was there to begin with, but I didn't feel scared. I felt very empowered and like, okay, I know this is something I can do, and so I was there. But it was so interesting, it was so weird, because it was like I was battling this fog, like this evil fog, and it was dark out, and I started off small, like what looked like on spider webs, and like I would be able to dissolve the web and push the fog back, so like it would like retreat away from me, and then eventually, like the stronger and more powerful, like I was able to take on more and more and more, and like eventually I was like taking on this whole storm by myself. So I felt like I would like clench my hands together and like bring my hands up slowly, and I could like see the heavy weight as it was like being raised, and the buildings in front of me would rise up, and the ground was rising up, and all of this fog was like coming out of these buildings, and it all came out like it was pushing the fog out of the atmosphere, and eventually it kind of like, as it was like pushing itself out, it like kind of caught in itself, and it created this tornado, and it just like this tornado of sorts, because all the fog was pushing into itself. So now you have a storm and this tornado. And then someone else showed up. I didn't really recognize who they were, but I jumped into their car, we drove away, but I got sucked into the storm. I don't know, somehow, some way, I got sucked into the storm, and I remember holding on to the person and saying, it's okay, like, it's going to be okay. I guess we're going to have to take this path through hell, but we will be back. Like, we are going through hell so that we can come back around. There was no fear in me, like I just knew like it was okay, like it wasn't like we were going to be staying in there, but that like we would have to go through hell to come back, to like make it through this kind of thing, but then we would be with Jesus kind of thing. So I don't really know like what happened there. We got swept into a river, and then I kind of woke up and just kind of was asking the Lord like what was going on. Like that's just kind of like a crazy intense dream, and I feel like this is kind of the clarity that he had given me is the fog is the plans of the enemy. You are destroying the plans of the enemy, the accuser. You are destroying the plans of the accuser. You are standing, or you are willing to stand strong and alone with God on your side to defend your friends and family and take down the accuser. You just have to get going first, and then you will see how it's all going to work together, and you will be a force to be reckoned with, especially with God on your side. He hears you. He hears your heart cries all the way up in the sky, and although it may feel unfair and like you're fighting this battle against the enemy all alone, he's there. He's your secret strength that is building inside of you. You have no idea what resides within you, because if you did, you wouldn't question the mystery that's happening around you. People need what you have. People need to be made aware that they can harness the same power within themselves. Isn't it funny how all you feel like you've been able to do lately is pray? Well, the secret sauce that lives within each of my children is the awakening of the true power that lives within you. Your desire to grow will grow with you. Just slow down. Slow your roll. Take time in between. Keep seeking me for answers, and I'll show you the way. So, there's obviously some personal things in there, but I really feel like the idea behind it is that the Holy Spirit, or like, God that's in us, God within us, is like where our power comes from, where our authority comes from, and we don't have to be afraid of the storm. We don't have to be afraid of literally going through hell when we know who is within us, and knowing that He will fight for us, He is fighting with us, and that like He is stronger and more powerful than anyone else, anything else that we will come in contact with, and like that we have access to that. That is ours to harness. It is ours to use. It is ours to stand on. I just feel like that's so empowering to know that, like, yeah, God is not only on your side, but He lives within you, and He's given you that same power, and we can begin to harness it, and we can, we can call out those demons, we can stomp on the serpent's head, we can, come up against the plans of the enemy or the accuser, like we can stand strong, and that authority and that power, can flow through us, and, kind of like harnessing that and like feeling it within your body and being able to release it out into the world. And yeah, I just felt like that was at least an encouraging word for me to realize that, like, that same power lives within me and I can harness it, and God will teach me how to harness it. He will teach each of us how to use it and what it looks like for us. And yeah, like we can destroy the plans of the enemy, and we are stronger together, and we are stronger with God on our side. So it was an interesting dream, to say the least.